Hello, my sweet super second graders. Okay, another math lesson here for you guys. We've been doing so much subtraction, and we're going to keep doing subtraction. We're going to keep showing you the expanded method and the ungrouped first method, but now we're going to add another place value. We're going to add the hundreds place value. Okay, so let's share my screen like always. I hope you guys are doing super. Okay, so here's my screen, and let's get started. I'm going to do the expanded subtraction over here and then do the ungroup over here. Okay, so again, we do the expanded so you guys can see that number and see what it looks like and see what you're borrowing and carrying and taking away. Okay, so I'm going to do the again, I start every math one with this. Oops. Here is our ones. That has not changed. Here is our tens, and I'm just going to put a T there for tens. And this 2, we have a new place value. Ones, tens, and then we get 200s, which I'm going to put an H for. Okay, ones, tens, hundreds. So we have added one more place value. So how do we break apart that number? How do we expand 200 out? Well, this is 200, 100, okay, this is 200 because it's 2 100s. So we have 200 plus we have 0 tens and we have 0 1. So plus 0 plus 0. Now we need to do this number, 68. Well, 6 tens is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And one thing I want you to know, I cannot put my 60 there because that is the hundreds place value, okay? These are still separated. This is my ones, this is my tens, and you can't see me pointing to the screen. Okay, so these are my ones still, these are my tens, and these are my hundreds right there, okay? So now my bottom number is 68, so it doesn't have any hundreds there, but it has 6 tens, which is 60, and it has 8 ones. Now we need to do some subtraction. I cannot take 0 minus 8. I can't give you zero M&Ms in my hand, and you take 8 away. It's not possible, and I can't. Okay, so that's not possible. Then I go over to my 0 minus 60. I can't give you 0 pieces of bubble gum and you take 60 away. It's not possible. So I need to take away from my hundreds. Okay, if I take 1, here's my 200. If I take 100 away, I have 100. Okay, so this 200 becomes 100. And my 0 in my tens place becomes, I took 100 away, I have 100 left, and I bring it over to my tens. Okay, I can now take 100 minus 60, but it's not going to work out because I still can't take 0 minus 8. So now I need to take 10 away from my 100. So this 100 becomes, and I wrote too close to the top, this 100 becomes 90. And if I add 10 to 0, I have the number 10. Now I can subtract. I can take 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. I can take, and I'm going to just highlight this number so you guys see what I'm working with. I'm using this 90. I can take 90 minus 60. What is 90 minus 60? Well, that is this mystic is oh, yes. Okay, I was looking at that. 90 minus 60 is 30, but when we do the expanded method, remember we have to add at the end. This is why this helps with place value. So 90 minus 60 is 30, and then we're left with 100. Okay, now we need to add these numbers up and get our total. Well, 100 plus 30, I'm just going to go over here. 100 plus 30 is 130, plus 2 is 132. This is why the expanded method is important, because when we expand our numbers out, this is the equation that we make. So that's why this is important. So 200 minus 68 is 132. Okay, now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do it with my ungroup first method. Okay, so I cannot take 0 minus 8, so I go over to my 10. I cannot take 0 minus 6, so I need to borrow from my 100 spot. So if I borrow, this becomes a 1 in our ungroup first method. That is the same as that 100. And I add that over to here, which I now have 10, because 10 tens is 100, just like this number over, and you can't see me pointing. 10 tens, because we're in the tens place value right here, is the same as 100. Okay, and I notice I still can't take 0 minus 8, so I need to borrow again. And this 10, if I take 10 away, or if I take one group away, I'm left with 9 tens. And my 0 now, if I add a 10 to 0, I have 10. Now we can do it. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 1 minus 0, nothing is here. So 1, we just bring our 1 down. Our answer is 132. Okay, so 2 different ways to get to the answer, but you get the same answer. I am going to do one more with subtracting from 200 with you guys. All right, so let's get started with this one. I can't take 0 minus 7. So I go over to my tens place value, which is right here. I cannot take 0 minus 4, so I need to start borrowing, okay? And I'm going to do the ungroup first method, or the expanded method, excuse me. So if I expand out that first number, 200, it would be 200 plus 0 plus 0, okay? Because this is my hundreds, here's my tens, and here's my ones, okay? Now I have to expand 47 out. Well, 47 has no 100s. So that would be 40 plus 7. I still can't take my 0 from my 7. I still can't take 0 minus 7. So I go over to my tens place value. I can't do 0 minus 40, so I need to go over to my hundreds. I need to borrow from my hundreds. So if I take 100 away, I am left with 100. If I add that to my 10, if I add 100, okay, if I add 100 to 0, I have nothing in my hand, to 0, I have 100. So this number is 100 now. Now I notice I still can't take 0 minus 7, so I need to borrow again. I need to take a 10 away. We're in the tens place value, and this 100 becomes 90. Now I need to add that 10 to my 0, which becomes a 10. Now I can subtract. So 10 minus 7 is 3. 90, we're going to take 90 minus 40. That would be 50. Remember, we still have to add here. And this is just 100, so we would bring that down. So what is 100 plus 50 plus 3? It equals 153. And I'll show you that super quick too with the ungroup first method. Oops, and I'm going to delete this. Maybe. See? Yep. Okay, superstars. Here we go. We're going to do the ungroup first method. So I need to be able to draw 200 minus 47. Well, Miss Mystic, I start at my ones. I cannot take 0 minus 7. I go to my tens. I cannot take 0 minus 4. I need to borrow from my 100. So my 2 becomes a 1. I carry that over to my tens, and I have 10 tens. I still can't take 0 minus 4, or excuse me, 0 minus 7. So I need to borrow again and take a 10 away. Now I have 9 tens and 10 ones. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. And we bring our 1 straight down. We have 153. We did it just like this one. Again, with your math, you're not only going to have to subtract from 200, but you're going to have to subtract from some other 3-digit numbers. Okay, so you might have a number that is like, you might have a number that, okay, let's try this one. 164 minus 53. Again, if you need to draw this out to be the ones, I'm just going to put a 0, that this is the tens, T for tens, and this is the hundreds. Go for it. That is a perfect strategy to use if that helps you. Well, I started my ones. I see that I have 4 minus 3. Well, 4 minus 3 is 1. I don't need to borrow. Go over to my tens. 6 minus 5. I can give you 6 of something and you take 5 away. Don't need to borrow again. 6 minus 5 is 1. And I bring down this 1. So you're going to have some easy subtraction problems. But you also have some other subtraction problems. And actually, you might not. Oh yeah, we might have to borrow. So let's try another one. 145 minus 83. Okay, so I start in my ones. 5 minus 3. Well, 5 minus 3 is 2. I go over to my tens. Can I give you 4 of something and you take 8 away? No. So I need to borrow. I did need to borrow in my ones, but now I need to borrow in my tens. So my 1, if I take that away, this is 0 now. If I need to add that to my tens. So now I can take 14 minus 8. And 14 minus 8 is 6. I am all done. My answer is 62. So superstars, that was our math. I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, Miss Mystic, so many subtraction problems. But we are going to get so good at them. And when you get to 3rd grade, you're going to breeze right by all these subtraction problems because you're going to be so good at it. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you guys. Yeah, thanks.